Hello and welcome. This is Abdul here with my video tutorial on the resources available in the teacher practice area. Let me take you through these resources with the rain sound of rain as the background music. Let's begin. Let me go to my teacher practice area. Let me go to my teacher practice area. This is the teacher practice area, and we have to turn on the editing. It is already on. Let me show you once more. Let me turn it off and turn it on again. So this the green signal goes when you turn it on, the green signal goes red. So it is on now. And these are the different types of activities and resources added by my co-course takers. Let me take you through all these things. We don't have to open these things. And at the bottom you can see add an activity icon. Let me click this. And when you click add an activity or resource, you will get a long list of activities or resources that we can add to add on to Moodle course. So I have clicked this and you can see the list. So these are the first at the top. We can see all the different numerous types of activities that we can play with, we can make use of while transacting our classes, remote classes or online classes. Let me show you. And here you find the resources. So these are the resources section, and the first top on the top section you can see the activity list. So we discussed this. We discussed all the activities in the previous video tutorial. So now let me focus on the resources. And suppose we want to add an annotatable file. So this is I'll give you an example. Let me click this activity, and when we click this, we get a description of what type of resources we are going to deal with this link. An annotatable file is a course resource PDF that students can open in Amanote in order to take clear and structured note on it. Let us see. So we don't have to go through. This is actually an annotatable file. Let's see how we can add it. Let me click add. So you can also get further information by going through all these details. And now let me add this resource. So I'm going to add an annotatable file. I'll show you how we can add it. This is my this is the here I have to give it a name. Let me give it a name CLT. And what is communicative language teaching. This is the question I have added as the description, and here I am going to bring in a text, a PDF. Okay, let me show you how I can bring it. We can bring it by there are different things. You can one way is to choose the file from the particular location. You can do that. You can go to I have a file on my desktop. What is communicative language teaching? Let me show you how I can take it. Richard's okay. Richard's communicative language learning. Communicative language teaching. We have a resource here. Let me open it. And I have opened the resource and I'm going to upload it. This is one way of adding a resource, adding a PDF file as an annotatable file. Okay. So this resource is here right now. And I'll show you one more way of adding a resource. This is the text I just added. I'm going to drag it and bring it to this area. Okay. So the Moodle course section asked me whether I want to override, because we have already got the all got the PDF there. So let me select overwrite because both texts are same. So we have two different ways of adding a file. One way is to browse through, click inside this box and browse the section text from the computer. The other way is to go to the particular file and drag it and bring it to this area. So this is one way of doing it. Let us see how it looks like inside the course. Okay, let me see. We have to save and return to the course. So I have saved it. Let's see how does it look like, how it looks like. Let us go to the last. Okay, here. This is the PDF we have just added. Communicative. Okay. So this is an easy resource. Students can easily go through this resource and get information they need. So as teachers, we can always provide annotatable text in PDF to students. Let me show you how download as PDF file or open in Amazon. So these are the different ways of opening. Let me go. I'm not going to open it right now. This is one way of adding one resource, one type of resource. Let's go back to practice area and try other methods of adding a resource. The next possibility is, let us see what happens. We will have to click add an activity once more. So we are going to try another resource, another type of resource. Okay, and the second resource is a book. And suppose we want to add a book. This book resource is much more like a textbook. The book module enables the teacher to create a multi-page resource in a book-like format. So when we like to organize our text, maybe long text, in the form of a book, digital book, we can always use this resource format. Let's see what happens. Let me add this book. Okay, now the book is being added. Let's see what happens. We need to give a title. Again, let me give the title of Communicative Language Teaching. CLT approach. Let me save the changes. So below that, I forgot to mention, below that there are so many other settings that you can click. So maybe you can think about the appearance of the book, chapter wise, or numbers. We can give it bullets, indented, none. So usually books are organized in a chapter wise format. You can also try give the page numbers, bullets, indented, all these things. So the custom titles, you can add custom titles, common module settings. All these items can be checked in and modified for your further use. So let's see how it comes out. So we have added a book resource. We have just added the template. We didn't actually bring in the book here. Let us see what happens. Yeah, this is the communicative activity and communicative language teaching. The book icon is this, and I'm going to open it. So here you can organize your data in the form of a book. Chapter 1, activities, and here you can subchat. If you want subchapters, you can do that. And here you can discuss all the different activities that you are going to put inside this book. So if you list out all the activities, you can create the first unit. Let me save it. And when you save it, yeah, the book format is ready here. with communicative language teaching as the main heading of the book, and this is the one chapter, one section of the book, activities, and the text is given here. So this way we can always bring in resources, make available resources for students. Students will find it really useful. So these are the different ways of adding resources. We need different types of resources for students. And this is also a fantastic way of doing it. Let's see what happens with the other resource types. So we discussed two items right now. We added two items. Let me click add an activity once more, and let's go down book. We can also add a file. So when you add a file, so books are lengthy text, but if you have a short file, maybe you don't want to add a lengthy text, you can always add a short file also. How does it look like? Let us add this file. And when you add a file, yeah, it looks like this. You can give it a name, again CLT, and description. You can give a description, whatever I say is the description, and display select files. So here you can bring in the files. Maybe you can bring in the files from the desktop. So I have got this file here. Let's see how we can bring in different types of files. Okay, so you can always bring in files. So I hope you remember how you brought in PDF items, and same way you can also bring in file from the desktop or from the computer. If you have files on the desktop, you can click inside this and search for the file. And if you can bring it by pulling it, you can also do that. Okay, so two options. And there are options to create folders. You can add a file, you can create folders as well. So maybe you need different folders for different files. You can do that. You can add files by clicking this. If you click here, you can choose your file from the computer, or you can bring in from the desktop or some other location by dragging it. You can also create folders and keep different files in different folders. So neat way of organizing your files. So these are cute ways, I mean really wonderful ways for us to manage, to manipulate with, to organize data, text files on the course page. So let's go back. I'm not going to save this. Let me cancel this. Okay, now we have discussed 3 or 4 items right now. Let's see how, if there are any other items that we can look into. So let me click, we'll have to click, I hope you remember, we have to click, add an activity link once more. And when you click this, we'll be taken to the long list of activities and resources available on the Moodle course. Okay, so we have added file, you can also create folders. So let me show you this activity, this resource too. You want different folders for different sections. Maybe we need to keep different sections, different items in different folders. You can do this. Okay, let me create the folder name CLT, and here I'm going to use MM15. So I have already done a couple of other courses, and in all the courses I always take communicative language teaching as my group topic, and some other teachers also support me in exploring these things. So let me come back. So I have created a folder name. The description is MM15, and